All right, we are joined by Alamogordo Cross Country as they get ready to begin their season this week. They'll be staying in Otero County, going up to Cloudcroft and compete at 9,000 feet. It'll definitely be a challenge, and we are joined by head coach Justin Gigler. Coach, how are you?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Yeah, and if you want to introduce the crew that you brought with you.
Absolutely. I've actually brought my all-district crew, all my all-district returners. So we have Celso Garcia, who is our senior. We got Omar Enriquez, our sophomore. We got Ellary Battle, our junior, and Janae Shaklee, our another senior.
All right, how's everybody doing today? Good?
Good. Amazing.
Good? All right, that's what we like to hear. Well, Coach, I mean, gosh, how many years is this for you now at the head of the cross-country program?
This is actually year 10.
Okay, wow.
Absolutely.
So 10 seasons, and, last year, obviously, or earlier this year, last season was obviously brought its own challenges, but, overall was a really successful year for the program again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we just kind of took care of training. It was a very, very interesting year in that we had to train for so long. We started up last year thinking we were going to have a season at the normal time, and then we might have a season in October to having a season in March. So it's kind of definitely the hardest year of coaching that I've ever had to do, just trying to figure out how to keep these guys motivated and how to keep them running but not overtrained. And it was an interesting season indeed. And so we definitely made the best of some of the changes that happened at the state level. And so, able to be district champs on the girls' side and runners up on the boys' side, as well as third place trophies on both sides at state.
Yeah, that's definitely a fantastic season for y'all. And and you had to be impressed with what you talked about, the athletes being able to handle so many of the changes last year. It seemed like this group really did a fine job with that last season.
Absolutely. It was just trying to keep everything positive. I know I kept saying our season's going to happen, but I think we got to the point even there towards the end before we actually got the green light that they were like, "Yeah, right, coach." It's never going to happen. We're doing this for nothing. So, but these group of athletes here and the other ones that are on the state team last year, they just kept putting in the work, and it paid off for sure.
All right. So, also, you excited for it to be your senior year? You pumped for this final season of cross country?
I'm ready for it to start, not ready for it to end.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what's coming up with that. How was your summer? Were you able to? I mean, I know that last year you were kind of fighting off some injuries in March. Were you able to be healthy during the summer and get going?
Definitely, especially staying busy with track since that was kind of an extended season. It was still pretty good. Nothing came back, luckily, and we were able to come back to practice nice and strong.
Yeah, very good. Do you feel, in terms of your shape heading into this season, where do you feel like you're at maybe compared to other years?
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Feel a lot better on hydration and nutrition and everything like that, so we're definitely off to a good start.
Okay, very good. Omar, how about you? You did track and field as well during the summer too, didn't you?
Yes, sir. That was definitely interesting. Yeah, the summer, it went by really quick, especially since it ended right in the middle of, or at the end of June, rather. So the summer was cut off a little short, but it was definitely worth it, especially going to state. Yeah.
And your feeling going into this year, with you had track and field in June, and then you went into conditioning right after that. Compared to last year as a freshman, how are you feeling?
Right, it was a lot. I think definitely it's important to change your mentality and train at the level you need to be when you go to state. So it's important to take your foot off the gas pedal a little bit and really get your body engaged in what you need to be at the end.
Okay, so you feel like you're there?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, very good. Ellary, where did you finish in state this last year?
First in the 800 and fourth at 08.
Yeah, that's fine. In track and field too. I know you did very well in track and field as well, and then in cross country you finished top 5, didn't you?
Yes, fourth.
Yeah, so pretty good year, I'd have to say, in a sophomore year. How are you feeling from last year heading into this year?
I'm super excited. I'm still feeling really strong. I'm just excited to improve.
Yeah. Were you surprised at all with the success you had last year, or did you figure that was something that you could do last season?
I knew I could do it, and I'm just happy I was able to succeed in it.
Yeah. Okay. We just talked to Janae Shaklee not too long ago with Alamogordo Girls Soccer. One of the is she the only one that's doing double duty this year? Are you the only one?
Possibly.
Maybe.
Question mark.
Well, we'll see. There might be more girls soccer, but you and of course last year, it was Vanessa, it was Gabby as well that was doing it. So this is old hat to you at this point, right?
Right.
Yeah. You feel excited about it? You ready to go for this upcoming season, or?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited because the last couple of seasons it kind of threw me off with everything, and my training was just kind of weird. And this year, I'm just really excited to get back into like a normal season.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be really fun. I'm super excited.
Yeah. Jumping out of track and into cross country, was it maybe more helpful than other summers previously, or?
Yeah, I think so, because in the summer I kind of get a little lazy, like in the first month, so I kind of have to like work my way back into like the motivation for cross country season. But I've just stayed there since track was so recent and like state. So I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Coach, is it helpful to have, every single one of these athletes does track and field as well? Is that something that helps when cross-country season comes around?
Yeah, absolutely. I think like this year, like saying a non-traditional year with track being so late in the season, it was the first time I really had to consider rest in July for these athletes coming off something like that where they're at their peak shape right there in June, and to find some way to give them a little bit of time off. So that was kind of a different thing, but absolutely. I think as far as this time heat acclimation, it helps, that they're running in June. It was definitely that phase of training this year was a lot shorter, so that really helped. And just these guys were in tremendous shape, and so are a lot of the other kids who were also in track and field. I can see the difference this year.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the. We got these four here, but obviously you've got a few more that that have to fill out a team and. On both the boys and the girls side. We'll start on with the boys side. I know you had a couple that graduated last year, but you've got a ton of guys that are returning this season.
Yeah, we did. We lost quite a bit last year as far as our athletes that were seniors. With Aiden finishing fourth at state, and definitely with a couple of the other seniors just kind of filling in. Michael as well, kind of right there at state being a big part of what we did last year. And so yeah, we got to kind of shift gears. I think we've got to, for many years, rely on the same set of athletes. But now we're definitely feeling a transition. But thankfully, we have these four here to lead the way. Like I said, they're returning all district from last year. So that always helps. But on the boys' side, Angel Avila was really close to being all district last year. He's back. He looks good. He looks healthy. And then I know Jack Hallbeck and Isaiah Dalmas as well ran some varsity meets for us last year as well. And so they're going to kind of transition into our 4-5 role as well. And then, we always have like Gabe's always around. He's whipping himself back into shape. He's still in sprinter shape. So I think he is somebody that needs a little more time. Yeah. To transition, for the rest of us who ran distance and track, it's not that big of a deal. And then Thomas Bond and Nate Callentine are kind of our top 8 on the boys' side. So I think we look really solid 1 through 5, but I really look forward to seeing what 6 through 8, how they improve and how they kind of push each other as the season progresses.
And I know on the girls' side, depth may be a little bit of a challenge for you guys this year. Right?
Depth is very much a challenge for us on that side. I think, currently looking at our program, 9 through 12, it's maybe 8 girls right now. And thankfully we have Ellary and Janae, and Song So, obviously, was part of our varsity contingent last year, and Hannah Caceres is back this year off of a COVID skip year, if you will. And, and so right now, Kylan Starkovich is kind of our number 5, and that's just kind of where we're at. We'll see what happens and progresses. We have more and more kids coming out all the time. I'm getting emails, they're just waiting to get physicals, so you never know. And I just think for us personally, as a program that doesn't have a feeder program per se, and the closest thing to it is middle school track, not having middle school track for 2 whole seasons, that's, probably somewhere around 10 to 15 kids. And so, so that's where we spent a lot of our work in this off season, is working and trying to get more of a middle school program, get that developed, and, hopefully that develops some runners for the future.
And of course, 8th graders can join the team. And
yeah, they can. Yeah. So currently we kind of have an 8th grade middle school running club per se, and they all kind of meet and they run together. And so we're trying to just develop, and we're not sure who's going to come out of that, but definitely somebody who's showing potential JV varsity will definitely pull out of there and give them their shot, especially since we don't have a lot of depth right now.
Yeah.
So I know all these ladies here and gentlemen ran in 8th grade. Except for Janae. She ran in 9th grade, but, they've all had 8th grade varsity experience. So, and that sometimes is a helpful thing. I don't think it's ever hurt anybody.
Yeah. But Janae, did you have a particular time that you were looking at to hit this season that maybe by the end of the year that you can get to?
Well, my PR was 1907, and I set that like either my freshman or sophomore year. It was my sophomore, and I'm always trying to PR. It kind of gets different when you get older, so I'm not sure if I was hitting that, but I was definitely going for it. So I'm not sure how the masks will affect that, because the thing was in track this year we wore masks the entire season, and then at state I PR'd in the mile once we finally got to take the masks off.
Yeah.
So maybe something will happen like that again this year, I'm hoping. I'm not sure, but...
Yeah, might be able to build up the resistance, and once you can finally take it, it's like lightning out there.
Right,
No problem. Ellary, regardless of the mask, did you have something in mind that you were shooting for heading into this season? Is there a number that you were thinking about?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to go sub-19 this season. I wanted to last season, and it never happened, but I'm feeling stronger and more confident, so I think I'll be able to do it now.
In terms of shaving off, you're running 19:10 to be able to go sub-19. For somebody that doesn't run cross-country, how difficult is that to do?
So my PR is 19:26, so that would be, it's not that much in cross-country, I guess. It is, but...
Yeah.
It's just really, I know I need to work on my first and my last mile, so it's just about, pacing myself on those.
Okay. Very good. Omar, how about you? You got a particular mark that you're shooting for this year?
No particular time, but I'd like to stay under 18 for most of my races.
Okay. And that's, what were you hitting last year? Obviously, again, the mask makes a little bit of a difference that you guys were wearing last year, but what were you hitting last season?
Yeah, definitely. I was about 18:30 for most of my races during cross country, and like Ellary said, as soon as the mask mandate was over in state, or for
track and field,
track, sorry. Our times just exploded. It was amazing. Yeah.
Okay. Celso, how about you? What do you want to hit here in your senior year?
Definitely trying to keep it under 17, hopefully, at least for an average of all of my times. And if I can, trying to get it into those 15s.
Yeah.
Trying to get 1550s, somewhere around there. I was hitting them last year through our Nike Cross, and just hoping to hit them again.
Okay, very good. Coach, that's one of those things you guys obviously build all towards the end of the season for district and for state. What's your goal in terms of trying to get them to that point at the right time? What's the strategy going into the season? Yeah,
and our strategy this year, is a little bit different than last year. We try to be in pretty good shape mid-season and just kind of progress from there. But I will admit, through all this transition, that we're kind of off to a slow start training wise. So it's going to be a different progression. So, but again, we'll through the workouts and the planning that we do, it's like we know we'll get there. We always do. It's our peak is usually exactly where it's supposed to. We see a lot of other schools where they come out just exploding in the beginning, and they just kind of just stay there. They don't really improve, and that's always, we've always been improving. So that's something for us that we look forward to, is just kind of the progression of the season, and also for these guys here. I think what's nice is the program has kind of transitioned from, in the beginning, it's like, oh, let's just try to be really competitive at district, to, hey, let's try to go do something at state. It's like, so that's where the challenge is, especially with these masks. It's just going to be fighting for places in the end if the masks are still on. I know Janae wants a top 10 so bad this year. It has eluded her. She's been right on the cusp for 2 straight years, and I know Ellary wants to run with Leah Feudy at state, and see what she can do there. I want to see Omar be a top 20 at state, move up a couple spots at district, and I like to see Celso, just like Ellary, just be district champions again, or for the first time for Celso, but again for Ellary. Yeah. Yeah, and I mentioned Celso was actually in better shape in November than he was in March. It just kind of, again, it's that training model being so long. So, this year it's been like baby steps. I've been taking my time in the beginning. The workouts aren't long, they're not hard. Just trying to get a little more base in there, but we'll start to ramp it up. And for these guys trying to hit their times too, it all just comes down to the course and race conditions. I kind of pencil that Chaparral meet kind of in early October. If it's a cooler day on a flat course, I could see some PRs falling for sure.
Yeah. Is State Academy this year, or are they going back to Rio Rancho?
Academy.
Okay, so they're State Academy. That's a flatter course, right?
No.
No, it's not? Okay, I'm sorry. For some reason, I thought that was a flatter course.
Okay, it's flatter per se. I mean, it's not, the climbs aren't as intense,
Yeah.
but they're just longer in duration. They're more gradual. It really was a different animal. We kind of thought it was going to be a little easier, and so getting out there and not being able to see the course prior to the race, was a bit of a challenge. So, a lot of other schools have competed at the Academy Invite, so they kind of knew what they were getting into. We did not. So this year we are going up to Academy in the regular season, and we're going to make sure we know that course. So, and that's just kind of like knowledge is power in that part. So we definitely won't take the course for granted this time around. So that's something we can prepare for.
Yeah. So, do you prefer Academy, Rio Rancho when it comes to State, or?
I definitely prefer Rio Rancho over anything.
So, unfortunately, you do go back to Academy. Do you feel like you learned something from March that you'll be able to apply to this year when you guys end up at State?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Not only the way I run that course, but the way other people run that course. You see a lot of people going out a little too fast, and you end up seeing them die out. But it's good to have all this knowledge over just one state meet.
Yeah. Omar, did you have a chance to run Rio Rancho, or have you just done Academy?
Yeah, I went to Rio Rancho my 8th grade year.
Okay.
And I definitely have a preference. I liked Rio Rancho a lot better. Just the environment, it was a lot nicer. I think maybe even a prettier course to run.
Yeah.
And I like bigger hills rather than like gradual ones. So it was, I'm not excited for Academy.
Did you feel like you learned something, though, from last year? Yeah.
Definitely. I learned a lot, and I'm glad we're going back before State so we can get that knowledge.
Yeah. Ellary, I'll ask you the same question. Do you have a preference of the two?
I do. I like Rio Rancho better. Academy it was a boring course, I'd say. It just all looked the same, so it just wasn't fun. But I'm excited either way.
From a physical standpoint, was it harder as well, did you feel like, or kind of?
I think so. It was definitely mentally harder as well. But yeah.
And what did you learn from running that race last year that you think you can apply this year?
I definitely was one of the ones who went out too hard, I think, and then I just kind of fell off mentally, but I think I'll be able to be a lot stronger going into it this season, so ready.
Janae, I feel like I know the answer, but you prefer the Rio Rancho course over the Academy course?
Well, actually, I would disagree with you guys.
Okay.
I think the Rio Rancho course is harder for me, but I actually do prefer it still because I've been there more times, and I just, I'm able to mentally work through it better.
Yeah. So getting a chance to go there in the regular season to Academy is going to make a big difference for you, feel like?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, we'll certainly look forward to that. Well, we'll start over here. Janae is a senior. I know we asked this for you just about a week ago, but we'll throw it here in this interview as well. What's coming up for you after high school?
I definitely want to play soccer in college, and I thought about running, but I don't know. I think the running definitely helped keep me in shape for soccer, but I don't want to run in college.
Yeah. You could do both. You never know. It may work out that way.
Maybe.
Do you know what you want to study in college?
I think biology.
Biology. Okay. And we talked about you're not sure which way you want to go with a profession yet on that, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. Ellary, junior, but I'm sure you're thinking at least about college and after high school. Is cross country something you want to continue?
Yeah, I definitely want to run in college, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, either cross country or track. You'd be happy with either, or?
I'd rather do track, but I think you have to do both if you do cross country.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Very good. And do you know what you want to study, or are there a particular college you have in mind you'd like to go to, or? I'm
not really sure yet. I've definitely been looking at some colleges at their track programs, but yeah, I'm not sure yet.
Not sure yet. Okay. Omar, is running something you want to continue after high school?
Well, actually, I want to be an airline pilot, so I'm not entirely sure if college or cross country per se would be in that plan later on, but there's still a lot of time. Could change my mind. We'll see.
Okay. What made you want to become an airline pilot? Is there something in particular? Or?
Oh yeah, I've always wanted to be a pilot ever since we took our first vacation to Washington D.C. when I was 7. I loved it so much, and yeah, every time we fly, it's amazing.
Okay, awesome. Celso, what's coming up for you after high school?
Definitely college. College for obviously both track and cross country. Hoping for more cross country.
Okay.
As far as which college and what I'd end up taking, it's still a little out there, but we're trying to figure it out.
Okay, awesome. Well, Coach, I know the expectations are always high for you guys. I mean, you want to win district, you guys want to be able to compete at state, and it certainly seems you've got a group that once again this year you guys are going to have a great chance to do it again this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so blessed that these kids have done a great job throughout the years that I've been part of this program, and they continue to grow it and cultivate it. And like I said, it's just nice the expectations many years ago have shifted. I think you alluded to it on your Facebook page, just like the girls have been district champs 6 out of the 9 years and runners-up the other 3 years, in the 9 years I've been coaching. So, and the boys are now becoming a lot more consistent as well in that, I could easily see us being district champions and being runners-up again, and both of these teams having good opportunities to place at state again.
All right. Well, we look forward to it. Again, season begins on Saturday as they head up to Cloudcroft, and we'll compete up there. And the home meet is the 9th of September,
It is.
I believe,
Thursday, September 9th, yes.
Okay. So remember, they only get one home meet a year, districts and cruises this season?
It is.
Yeah. So they'll get a chance to get out there and see the cross-country runners and support them on their one meet this year. So, hey, good luck this season. Thanks for coming in, y'all.
All right.
Thank
Thank you.
you.